Welcome to the FaceTime with God podcast. I'm your host, Kay Farrar, and yes, you have tuned in to the right place because we're bringing Christ to the culture and the culture to Christ. Because the gospel's not for old times, it's for all times. So we've got relevant topics, real people, and we're starting right now.
That's right, y'all. My first name is Herbie. May look like a jockey in the Kentucky Derby. Since kindergarten, I've applied the knowledge, and after 12th grade, I went straight to college. Hey, it's Doc, and I'm back. And you know what? Education is the great equalizer. And I learned that from this guy right here. This is my dad. And folks, I want to tell you that, I can take those Jordans off your feet, but no one can take your education from you because it's priceless. And let me tell you a quick story about why your education is so important. This young man right here, when he was 17 years old, in Florence, South Carolina, he went into a restaurant for white people only. And when he came out of that bathroom that day, he was put down on the ground by police officers and spent 3 days in South Carolina State Prison. And I have the coins right here to prove it as a memory of we can't forget our past. My dad kept 3 South Carolina State Prison coins as a memory of what life was like in Florence, South Carolina. And in prison, they used these coins to buy toothpaste, gum, and chips. And he kept these and passed them to me so that I would never forget where we came from, so I can help us to understand where we need to go. History is so important because we need to learn that we can't make the same mistake over and over again. The first time it's a mistake, the second time it's a choice. On the 3rd day in South Carolina State Penitentiary, the community band together to get my dad out. And when my dad got out, he said, "You know what I want to do? I'm not going to burn down that restaurant. I'm not going to riot. We're not going to set the town on fire." He said, "I'm going to become a teacher." Because he said, if I can teach children how to love, how to turn to each other and not on each other, then hopefully one day my children won't have to suffer what I went through as a teenager in Florence, South Carolina. As most of you know, Herbert Thomas Monroe went on to become a teacher and an amazing principal at both Ratcliffe Elementary and Laburnum Elementary. So folks, what I want you to know is, and to understand, there was a time when people that looked like me weren't even allowed to read, to write, or to learn. So again, your education is priceless. It's something that once you get it, no one can take it away from you. So value it, take advantage of it, and love it. This is a word from Doc. Peace.
It's powerful on so many levels because if you think about it, right? If the situation that your dad went through, where he went to a restaurant, minding his own business, ended up getting thrown in jail, he could have been bitter because of that.
Bitter, hate. He could have burnt the place down. All the things.
And a couple things that I love about even you sharing several aspects of this story. One is that he wasn't bitter. He went on immediately upon getting out. He thought about what he could do to make a difference.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is so powerful. But then but he never lost his identity. He embraced the fact that there is, or acknowledged the fact that racism does exist. So he did that without going in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Without, going negative on it. We're going to be positive and we're going to deal with things, but we can do it the right way. I just love that. Absolutely love it.
And he has been such a role model for me, but everybody that he touched. Like when he was at Laburnum, for example, Essex Village, like Senator Bagby, for example, is somebody who my dad was his principal. So I see all these people now, and they say because of your dad.
Isn't that something?
And I didn't understand it at the time, but my dad would have like cereal, socks, gloves, jackets, sneakers.
Wow.
In the car. So
Cool?
like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, summer, we going to Essex Village, other neighborhoods, and my dad's just making sure everybody had what they needed.
Isn't that something?
And I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. And what's so ironic about it is when I became principal at Lakeside Elementary, Lakeside was a predominantly white neighborhood.
Yeah.
Confederate flags flying. But what I learned from my dad is everybody wants their child to be successful, regardless of who's trying to get them there. And Lakeside was one of the lowest performing schools in Henrico County. But again, we were able to bring that community together, and Lakeside ended up being Henrico County's first Title I school of distinction for the nation.
Isn't that something?
So, you know, it was a blessing that, you know, I was able
for the nation. Wow,
to work with the team. Yeah, I was a principal. That was my third year at Lakeside.
Wow.
And, you know, we were Henrico's first. There's been, I think, 2 schools that have done it since then. But we were Henrico's first national Title I school of the year.
It was so awesome. So awesome. All right. We're going to have a little bit more fun. All right, here you go. Teacher pay.
I'm supposed to just say anything?
Yeah. Talk about it. What does that mean to you? What are your thoughts on it?
Not enough.
All right.
Not enough. And if I need to elaborate, effective teachers are on the clock 24/7. It is a lifestyle, it's not a job. You could be in Jamaica and you could see something in Jamaica and an effective teacher is going to say, you know what? I got to buy that because that's something I'm going to use in my class next year. An effective teacher is the person that will put the needs of the kids before the needs of the adults. An effective teacher is someone who will visit a child in need over Christmas break, spring break, Thanksgiving break, just to make sure that their basic needs are taken care of. And a teacher's salary, I don't know any effective teacher that has not taken money out of their own bank account, out of their own thing to make sure that their kids were taken care of, make sure their class was taken care of, make sure even sometimes the family was taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so
why haven't we? Why we talk about it? Why hadn't it changed? I mean, I know that's a tough one.
Well,
this is just a follow-up question.
What I think is that 3 words: advocacy, education, and awareness. I don't think that teachers advocate, educate, and bring enough awareness to their role, to the politicians, to the point to where we can really change some legislation around it. I think that we need to go to the school board meetings. We need to go to the board of supervisor meetings. We need to go down, like I took my kids down to the Capitol, and we need to talk to our legislators and help them to understand that we are an endangered species that will soon become extinct. And then what are we going to do? Yeah. Especially African-American males. You know the statistics, it's less than 2% of us. Less than 2% of the teachers in America are African-American males.
Wow. All right, you did great with the hot potato. I'm not getting any more hot potatoes.
Well, good, because it's hot in here, because I was sweating a little bit.
I'm starting to get hungry talking about these hot potatoes. So, 2 more things.
Okay. Woo! Look at paper. She got paper.
Display money. They did a great job making it look real, though.
Yes.
But spending per pupil, right? State of Virginia, I believe, is around, I'm sure you know better than I do, what around, was it 15,000 per pupil or so?
I thought it was closer to 12. I could be wrong. You take Loudon and you take Surrey, you take Henrico, I don't know. Probably somewhere between maybe 12 and 15.
12, yeah, right. And it all depends on what district. You're absolutely right. It's so interesting. I did an episode last night, just had the title "Save Our Schools." But I'm just gonna do this for fun.
Okay.
So we got a few hundreds. Few hundreds here. We're just gonna give you this. Let's just say this is $500,000 discretionary in your district that you can spend it however you want on the schools. And then let's just say that's a full million. So you got $1.5 million discretionary in addition to your budget.
Okay.
Let prioritizing. You can put it all in one bucket if you want, or you can put it in several buckets. Okay. But only give me, if you can put it in several, give me your top 3. How would you spend that?
First, I'm gonna put it with the people.
Okay.
I feel like you have to invest in your people first, and not just salary. I'm talking about like tuition reimbursement. Because again, remember I talked about we have to be growing.
That is.
Remember I said we got to be lifelong learners.
That'll walk right there.
So
we need to get that in legislation in.
So my thing is, if you're a teacher, you need to continue to learn. I would like you to get your certification in something else, or do something, or get your master's. Go from your master's, get your doctorate. Become a reading specialist or something. So the first thing I would invest in my people, not only in salary, but also in things like tuition reimbursement, child care, making sure that they have the technology not only in school but at home. I told you it's 24/7. I know when I was in Caroline, 30% of the people living in Caroline County don't have access to internet because it's rural broadband. Okay. Surrey is one of the first counties in Virginia to have 100% rural broadband. So I would make sure that everybody had the access and opportunity to be whatever they want to be. So number 1 is investing in the people. Number 2, I would say investing in the facilities. If your facilities are not right, then you don't have a house to learn in. So I would want to make sure that our facilities are up to par and have the latest and the greatest technology so that we can operate on what I call a universal playing field. Okay. I don't want just a Virginia standard. I want a universal standard so that, again, not only people from our country, but people from the world can come to Surrey to see how it's done. Wow. So I really want to invest, in the technology, infrastructure, and the facilities to make sure it's state of the art.
Got it. Yeah. Got it. Nice.
And what did you say? You said I had 3?
Well, if you wanted to. Look, discretionary. Right. You can put it wherever you want.
Well, the other one, and I think it goes with the first one, is mental health.
Okay. I was wondering if that was going to come up.
It is, because one of the things that I've learned both in Caroline and in Surrey is that the adults and the students can't pour into the learning or into each other if they're empty. And in the places like Surrey, there is really only one doctor's office in the whole county, and there are no mental health providers in Surrey County. Okay. Same was true. Well, Fredericksburg had something for Caroline, but in the immediate county, there are really no mental health providers. Okay. So for us, a lot of our kids have to go across to James. Got to take a ferry to get out of Surrey. They'll go over to Williamsburg, James City, Newport News, Norfolk. They might go to Smithfield, or they might go to Petersburg. Okay. Or, So, just wanting to make sure that our kids are both mentally and physically well, and make sure that they have access to appropriate care.
Awesome. All right. So you did a great job spending that money.
It's gone.
I'm going to take it back. It's all gone.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all gone. All right. So in addition to kind of go along with the resources, all right. We got those 3 things taken care of. You got your $1.5 million and you got those things going, right? If the community could do something for you as a superintendent, right? Not resource-based in terms of money, but if you could get support, help, assistance, change in the community, whatever the community could do for you to make your district better or to help you with your students in your schools. And you could name 1, 2, or 3, whatever. What would you ask of the community? How can they help you help?
Well, I'm going to tell you, number 1, there cannot be a separation of church and state.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm going to say that publicly.
Wow, I love that.
I actually partner with the pastors in our community.
Okay.
Our first meeting, we had 19 pastors show up to the superintendent's, Panera with pastors, if you want to call it that.
Oh, wow.
And I think that a lot of time, people's views are different when their butts are sitting in the pews. So I go to churches. Like I said, I visit churches. I've been to 3 churches since I've been in Surrey. Meeting with people, talking to students, talking to the community. And the first thing is, and we have a lot of this in Surrey County, is we need to go back to that old school mentality of it takes a village to raise and educate a child. And what I mean by that is every child in the community needs to be our child. It's not that is, Miss Kay's child or Mr. Herb's child. All of these kids are our children, and we have to mentor them. We have to guide them. We have to discipline them, in the appropriate ways in order to raise them up, right? Kind of like when I came through, everybody's mama was my mama until I got home.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I cut up, my mama knew, but I got disciplined before I got there.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, I would say the mentoring and getting back to the village mentality of raising a child is one of the things that I see in Surrey, but one of the things that I would like to promote internationally as a theme of what I think we need.
Absolutely.
That was the question, right? Did I answer your question?
No, just like I said before, there's no wrong answer.
Okay. The other part, though, is I think that we need to invest in giving what I call parents grace and a second chance, because a lot of times there may have been parents who wanted to go to college but they couldn't, or maybe school wasn't a positive experience for them. But now they're at a different place in their life to where maybe they want to give it a second shot. So I would love it if there was some kind of programming where we could help our parents to, maybe get a GED or graduate or to get a skill or, a trade or even a higher level of education somehow where it's not going to take, food, not going to take food off the table. So I would love to see some innovation and creativity around that as well.
I love that. I do. I was thinking the other day about, is there a way we could use our tech centers, not just for, and we can't take away from the students going through, but I was honestly, so you're talking about parents, I was thinking about kids who maybe dropped out or they didn't do what they should have in school, and now they realize, wow, I wish I had, but I can't go to a tech center. Like, how, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they might not have the funds to pay to go to college. Is there a way we could use our tech centers to train? Maybe they could run in the evening, and maybe we could fund something to where maybe some older, former students, or like you said, parents could come through so that they could be elevated to where they can take care of their families better.
I love that. And you know what? We do have what we call adult education centers. A lot of times it focuses on that age group from 18 to say 25. But I don't think we've done enough in that area for it to be attractive and for people to really see the true opportunities there.
Well, Dr. Monroe, unfortunately, they're giving me the sign. What? They're giving me the sign, which, they're doing their job. And but one of the things they used to tell us at church, at the end of church, because I was always one of the last ones to leave. And they would say, well, if you don't go home, you can't come back. So it's not such a bad thing that we have to wrap it up, because we can always invite you back. And I would love to do that. I would love to share some of the things that, and I have thoughts I have, ideas I have. We have been working on something called Certified Grandparent that I want to put out there to see. And I'm going to be talking to, some legislators and that kind of thing to see if we can get some legs for that. A training program for parents who don't know how to parent. And to reward them for completing, like you get a certification for, PMP or CPA or whatever. And then instead of them having to pay to go, when you finish the program, you get $1,000 for having completed it, and make it that rigorous and fund it. But we're going to close out, and we're going to give you the final word. What would you want to say in closing?
In closing, I would like to say that it is key for us to do 4 things. 1, it is always too soon to quit. So we must keep on keeping on no matter how difficult things seem. 2, we must always remember that teamwork makes the dream work. None of us have gotten anywhere doing things by ourselves. 3, I want us to remember the sense of belonging, where we have to ensure that not only ourselves, but those around us are physically, socially, emotionally safe, valued, empowered. We are lifelong learners, and we create a culture where people are not afraid to take risks because they're not going to lose their dignity. And the last one is just as simple as love. You have to love your neighbor as if you love yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, if we can really truly live by those themes, you're going to be blessed. You're going to be good. You're going to be full.
Amen.
You're going to be full.
After this interview, I can tell you we are full. We're so thankful to have you come through on FaceTime with God, and we will reach out to you. So maybe we can get you back. Maybe we can get the band.
Yeah. I can get the band here.
Look, okay. We can do that. We can make it happen.
We can make it happen. Let me just say, too, it was a plum pleasing pleasure to be here today. I feel blessed to have been asked to come, and you ignited my spirit today because I've never met you. Wow. But I feel like, you know, we family now.
Isn't that something?
We family now.
That's how we do. That's how we do. So thank you for the compliments. Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for bringing your beautiful wife. You guys didn't get to see her, but yeah, we're gonna see if we can sign her up next time.
All right.
But thank you, and we'll be back in touch with you for another time on FaceTime with God.
Boom.
Colossians 3:23 and 24. And whatever you do, do it with all your heart as unto the Lord and not unto men, knowing that it's of the Lord that you shall receive the reward of the inheritance, because you serve the Lord Christ.